I am Michelle McPherson, and this is The Michelle McPherson Show, the only internet marketing podcast dedicated to answering your burning business questions. Find us and submit your own questions at FromIdeaToEmpire.com. And now for today's episode. A transcript of this episode, as well as visual aids, is available at MichelleMcPherson.com. Finding the best time of day to post to Facebook is a mix of analyzing the data, testing and tracking, and regular revision because it won't remain the same. So first we analyze the data. Facebook, handily, actually tells you when your fans are online the most. It would make sense that the times your fans are online is a great starting point for when to actually post to your account. You'll get more response when people are actually online and seeing your content, right? So to find out when most of your fans are online, navigate to Facebook Insights, click Posts, and then click When Your Fans Are Online. You'll find a chart that tells you when your fans are online most often. I have an example up at MichelleMcPherson.com that shows an account whose peak is at about 6 p.m. There's another screenshot up that shows an account who's got a peak at around 7 or 8 p.m. In the morning at 9 a.m., they are also pretty high volume. If you use a scheduling tool like Buffer, Hootsuite, or Facebook's internal scheduler, you'll know now when to schedule your Facebook posts. So let's say that it's 11 p.m., you're the admin of a page, and you have got some hot stuff to post. You are the admin of the page who has a peak at about 7 or 8 p.m. So do you post right then, or do you wait until the next morning, or do you wait until 7 or 8 p.m. the next day? All you have to do is look at your traffic or your online insights chart. It tells you that waiting until 9 a.m. the next morning would be just fine because the drop between 9 a.m. and 7 and 8 p.m. isn't that much of a difference. So you would go ahead and publish at 9 a.m., but you would definitely not want to publish at 11 p.m. Now, this assumes that you post every day. You need to be posting daily. We have found that even in the B2B sector, weekends are some of the most responsive days of the week for our clients. My guess is that people have more free time on the weekends to scroll through the newsfeed, and so they're more interactive. Now, digging deeper on the insights, you can export the data and find some more correlations. So once you do the export, column Q in that export is titled Lifetime, the number of unique people who created a story by interacting with your page post. Now, we love it when our fans interact with our posts and Facebook subsequently creates a story about it for those people's friends to see. That is the kind of viral promotion that leads to a page with 340,000 fans reaching over 6 million people in just one day. We've got a screenshot of that happening. This client, so that was one day's action. The client then went on to receive 19 million views completely hands-free to this post that the socialmediadaily.com team created and posted for them. Who says that Facebook is dead? It is not. So if you sort by column Q in that exported worksheet, and you check the times, which are in column G, you might find a correlation as we did with that client who received 19 million views. Posts that were published at about 11 p.m. tended to create a lot of stories, which leads to the virility that leads to 19 million views. You can investigate that export file further to find peak instances of likes and of comments and of shares and correlate them with the times in column G to look for other relationships that might be of value for you in your Facebook account. Now, testing and tracking. This data that we pull from Insights gives us a jumping off point. It gives us a place to start, and then it's up to you to start experimenting. For example, we saw from the first client pictured above whose fans are most online around 6 p.m. That would be a good jumping off point to schedule posts for, but we're not done yet. So we're going to start at 6 p.m., but then we're going to keep digging. Just because people are online doesn't mean that they are actually engaging with your posts. Sure, they are scrolling through their news feeds, but maybe it isn't producing much action. Maybe there's too much other stuff going on. So this is when you start testing. Post at 6 p.m., but give that 9 a.m. morning a try too. Perhaps post early in the day. Perhaps a post that is earlier in the day has a better shelf life for your audience and will eventually be seen by more people than a post that you publish at 6 p.m. Maybe people go to bed fairly soon after and it just doesn't get as much traction. With Facebook posts, we can't split test. So none of this is an exact science, but you try something new a few times, you see the results, you move on to another test, and you figure out what works best for your page and your audience. For me and my audience, I often find that a post late in the evening US time gets responses from my Australian friends whose news feeds are not as cluttered. And that overall can sometimes result in higher engagement because those people are able to engage because they're seeing my post because there aren't as many posts at that time of day. At the same time, a post that is super late in the day like that is usually missed completely by my US fans. So that's a trade-off that I have to think about when I'm making posts. You'll get to know your audience in this way too once you start looking at the numbers regularly. Now, we always revise, so as your fan page grows and it attracts new audiences, you'll find the times that audience is most responsive will change too. And this is why we investigate and revise the posting times for every one of our clients every month. We ensure that our clients' accounts are keeping up with their growth and the changes that come with it. The data that you based your initial decisions on will change too. So make sure that you also are reviewing and revising your posting times regularly so that you get the most traction from your efforts. Head on over to michellemcpherson.com. If you've got any questions about this, hit the Ask Anything button and leave me a voicemail. Talk soon. Bye-bye.